brain is just, it's firing on all cylinders, processing all the input.
You've got the perfect response queued up in your head.
Yes, a witty, intelligent, grammatically complex response. It's all there, but it's in your native language.
And then comes the cliff. That moment you have to actually speak.
That's the word for it, the cliff. You open your mouth to bridge that gap, to translate that beautiful thought into the language you're learning. A puddle. It's not the monologue you wrote in your head. Yes, I agree. Good.
The dreaded freeze. Or the caveman talk. We want coffee.
Right. It's the classic disconnect, isn't it? Between what you know, your passive competence, and what you can actually do, your active performance.
And it is absolutely soul-crushing.
It is. Because you know you're smart. You know the grammar rules. You've memorized the flashcards, you've done the work.
But the physical act of speaking just isn't there. You revert.
You revert to the linguistic equivalent of a toddler. It's this universal frustration. You feel trapped inside your own head.
Yeah, you feel like your personality is locked behind a wall because your speaking skills just can't keep up with your thinking skills.
Well, today, that is the exact frustration we are tackling head on. We are doing a deep dive into a method that promises to break that specific bottleneck.
Okay.
We're looking at a source from the channel English is Easy with Connor, and specifically a lesson he created called The Architecture of a Super Sentence.
I'm really glad we're covering this one.
Yeah.
Because this isn't your typical, repeat after me grammar drill you see everywhere.
No, it's not.
This is something different. It feels less like a classroom lesson and honestly more like a high-intensity interval training workout, but for your brain.
That's the perfect way to describe it, a workout. And that's what we're going to do today. We are going to deconstruct this 10-level exercise he's built.
10 levels.
10 levels. We are going to watch a single, tiny, 3-second sentence.
Okay.
And we're going to see it evolve step by step into this massive, complex paragraph that covers basically an entire life philosophy.
Wow.
And the goal here, he says, isn't just to memorize the final sentence. That's not the point.
Right.
Is to understand the muscle that's required to say it, the speaking muscle.
Muscle is absolutely the key word. And this is where his core philosophy comes in, the thing that, that really underpins this whole source, which is the idea of deep work. He operates on this premise that speaking ability doesn't improve by osmosis.
Osmosis, I like that.
Yeah, you don't just get fluent by listening to podcasts in the background while you do the dishes.
Uh-oh. That's my entire strategy, so that's bad news for me.
It's bad news for a lot of people. But the reality he presents is that speaking is a physical and a physiological act. It involves your breath, your tongue, your facial muscles.
And that's where the gym comes in.
That's the analogy. It's the gym.
Let's unpack that analogy before we even look at the first sentence. Because, when teachers compare learning to exercise, it can feel a little cliche.
It can. Practice makes perfect. But he gets really specific about the mechanics of it, which I think makes it powerful.
How so?
He compares spoken English directly to training your biceps at the gym. Think about it.
Okay.
You can read every book ever written about weightlifting. You can watch 1,000 videos. You can understand the biomechanics of a bicep curl. You can name every single muscle fiber.
Right. I could be the world's leading academic on biceps.
Exactly. But if you never actually go to the gym, pick up a dumbbell and lift it until your arm shakes.
The muscle doesn't grow.
The muscle does not grow. It's impossible.
So in this analogy, the book learning, the theory, that's the grammar study, and the vocabulary list we all do.
Precisely. We know the rules.
Yeah.
But the lifting, the actual physical act, that is the speaking.
And what he's arguing is that most people just keep reading the book, hoping their biceps will magically get bigger.
That's it. The source argues that spoken English is a muscle that absolutely requires tension to grow. Resistance. If you aren't feeling that resistance, if you aren't struggling a little bit to get the words out, you aren't actually training.
You're just reviewing.
You're just reviewing. You're staying in your comfort zone.
Okay, so if speaking is the dumbbell, what's the specific exercise? He prescribes a very specific one called shadowing. Now, I've heard this term thrown around in language circles for years.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people get it wrong. What's his definition of it?
It's a very, let's say, aggressive form of shadowing. A lot of the time, people think shadowing means, you listen to a sentence, you pause on the audio, and then you politely repeat it back at your own comfortable pace.
Right. That's what I thought it was.
I says, that's not shadowing. That's dictation. It's a memory exercise.
So what's the real deal? What's the deep work version?
Real shadowing, the kind that actually builds muscle, means you are speaking with the instructor at the same time.
At the same time. How is that even possible?
You try to stay just a split second behind him. Or you pause and you immediately explode into the sentence, trying to match the exact rhythm, the exact intonation, the speed, the pauses, everything.
So you aren't just copying the words.
No, you are copying the music of the sentence, the melody.
You're trying to inhabit the speaker's mouth, essentially, their breath.
In a way, yes. And it is deeply uncomfortable. It feels rushed. You will absolutely trip over your tongue. You feel foolish.
I can imagine.
But the source insists, and this is so important, that this wobble, that feeling of almost failing, of being on the edge of your ability,
That's where the learning is happening.
that is exactly where the growth happens. Just like the shake in your arm when you're lifting that last rep.
Embrace the wobble. I like that. It gives you permission to be imperfect.
It demands it.
Okay, let's put on our gym clothes then. We're going to simulate this progression. We're going to walk through all 10 levels. We are starting at level 1. This is the C. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's lift.
Level 1, it is, a man opens a bank account.
6 words. Simple. Clean. Unadorned.
It feels almost insultingly simple after that big setup, doesn't it? A man opens a bank account.
Don't underestimate it. Look at the architecture of it, as he says.
Okay.
You have the subject, an adult male, a man.
Right.
You have the action. What does he do? He opens.
Verb.
And you have the object. What does he open? A bank account. It is the fundamental building block of the English language.
Yeah.
Subject, verb, object.
SVO. It's the safety net. It's what every beginner learner clings to because it's predictable.
It's safe, sure, but it's also robotic. As you said, it's the toddler stage.
Yeah.
If I walked up to you at a party and just said, a man opens a bank account, and then just stared at you,
I would assume you were a strangely programmed AI, and I would slowly back away.
right, it lacks all humanity. It's a statement of fact with no context, no purpose.
But to be fair, narratively, even in these 6 simple words, a story has been done.
It has. We have a character, we have an action, he's taking a step,
Yeah.
a financial one.
He's moving from, I don't know, chaos to order. He's starting some kind of journey.
True. But as you said, nobody actually speaks like this.
Yeah.
Human communication is driven by intent, by purpose. We don't just describe what is happening, we explain why it's happening.
Which brings us directly to level 2. We add the purpose. The sentence evolves into, a man opens a bank account to save money.
And boom, instantly it's 100 times more human.
Why? What's the linguistic shift here?
We've added what's called an infinitive of purpose, to save money.
The why.
The why, exactly. And the source points out that this is the first crucial stretch for the brain. It's a small one, but it's important.
Is to save money the only way to say that?
No, and he gives variations. You could say, in order to save money, which is a bit more formal, or something more casual, like to save up some money.
But the core function is the same.
The function is identical. You are connecting an action opening the account to a motivation, a reason.
It feels like such a small step, but I guess cognitively it forces your brain to hold 2 distinct concepts at once.
It does. You've got the event itself, and now you've got the reason for the event. You're moving from just reporting what you see to explaining intent. That requires a higher level of cognitive processing.
Okay, that makes sense, but let's be honest, to save money is still pretty vague.
Extremely vague. Is he saving for a new pencil? Is he saving for a private jet? Is he just saving because he likes the feeling of having coins in a jar? We have no idea.
The motivation is there, but the scale is missing, the timeline.
We need the horizon.
Which brings us